Yeah.
Hello and welcome back to the show. Welcome to Talkin Spice.
Bom dia, boa tarde, boa noite.
Not everyone around you might be proficient in cooking. For some people, cooking doesn't come natural. It's not super obvious. And since there's so many different ways you can cook, so many different recipes and ingredients and things you can do in the kitchen, for some people, it can be a little bit challenging. It might even be uncomfortable for people to feel confident in the kitchen. So today we're going to be talking to you about some cooking tips and some food tips to help you be a more comfortable cook, get more out of your food, and enjoy life a little bit more. Welcome to the show. My name is Daryl, a.k.a. Loudy Spice.
Got Chris, a.k.a. Biggie Spice.
And you got Graham, a.k.a. Beardy Spice. ASMR.
And for those of us, those of you listening, I have extensive experience in the restaurant industry. I've worked professionally as a cook. Daryl is a at-home cook. He goes all out whenever he gets in the kitchen.
I'm a fucking good cook.
Yeah. You're pretty dope when you set your mind to it. You make some pretty
mind
dope
to
stuff.
it. I have one gear. Delicious.
There you go.
That's tagline.
And
Put it on a shirt.
We got Beardy Spice here, which is our novice.
You're
He's our beginner.
You're an avid food enjoyer.
Exactly.
I think you're
Exactly.
you're AAA status, pro level food enjoyer.
Exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
like you almost got drafted like in the majors for food enjoyment, but
I
school
just, like injury, right? I tore my ACL.
You tore your jaw muscle.
Oh yeah. So I couldn't chew as well as the rest of the kids. Yeah.
So I think we're a good combination of guys that can talk about
I
how
think so.
the easy ways to improve your cooking and some basic cooking tips to help make food a little bit more enjoyable. That's what we're doing with Kunuku Spices. What we're doing with everything. We want to help people get the most out of their food, enjoy life more, better life through better food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're gonna give you guys some tips, give you guys some piece of advice.
Tricks.
And hopefully build up your confidence in the kitchen,
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure there's some very simple things people can do
Yeah.
to improve their quality of their food and their eating experience.
Yeah, and I could be wrong, but I have the feeling that a lot of people are very easily intimidated when it comes to thinking about cooking something. They're like, oh, I don't know, that's going to be difficult for me. I don't know how to do this, or it's too complicated. So I'm going to have someone else do it for me.
Yeah, and cooking is actually one of the easiest things to do right. It's a very enjoyable process. And for us, for example, culturally, we know we embrace the importance of cooking for the people we care about. We understand how much a good meal prepared for you can mean. It's how we show love. It's how we show we care.
Appreciation, yeah.
Exactly. So to kick it off, we're gonna talk about some different cooking tips, and we're gonna go like a wide variety. We're gonna go from left field to right field, back and forth. Some of you might hear this stuff and think, that's obvious.
Yeah.
But for some people, it might be really significant. And feel free to try all the tips that we give. Feel free to contact us, slide into our DM on Instagram at Kunuku Spices, and ask us questions about it.
Yeah.
Because the first thing I'm going to give, the first tip, which I wonder if you guys do or not, do you guys wash your rice before cooking it?
You know the thing is, it's weird. Like I used to, but then I just suddenly stopped. I don't know why. I just suddenly stopped doing it.
And when you stop and you don't miss it.
No, I don't.
Really?
No, yeah, it doesn't. To me, there's no difference. I guess if you clean it, it looks kind of cleaner. Like once you pour out.
What kind of rice do you use?
I use brown rice usually.
Okay.
Brown
Yeah.
rice.
Okay, yeah, that's different. Yeah.
Chris,
So-
do you wash your rice?
Do I wash my rice? No, but that's mostly because when I cook rice, it's for myself, and I don't care. It's just as long as it's cooked, I can eat. That's the thing about cooks. When we cook at home, we don't care. It's just in the mouth.
So that's not a really good setup for my piece of advice, but my piece of advice is wash your rice before you cook it, especially talking about basmati rice or pandan or jasmine rice. Wash it. Wash the residual, like what's left in the packaging, all that white gunky stuff. Wash it off.
Yeah.
Put it in a cauldron. Put it under sink. Rinse. It's going to give you a much more fluffy rice texture. It's going to be, if you want sticky rice, it's going to be stickier because of that. It's going to cook all the way through better. So my first tip is, and I tell all my homies, all the white people seem to not do this, but fucking wash your rice. It takes you a little bit, yes, a little bit of water, but wash your rice. It makes it a lot more delicious.
No, but that again, I don't do it because I come from a background where I cook, for a living. So to me, I don't care as long as I get what I want out of it, I'm good.
Yeah.
But washing your rice does a lot because what you're basically doing is in the process of rice being made, it kind of gets polished, especially the white rice. That's why it has a shine and stuff like that with it. And when you wash it, you're basically washing off the excess starch. So that's why if you want like nice, really fluffy rice, washing it, rinsing it, getting the majority of the starch out, you get a lot more fluffier, nice.
Poofy.
Poofy
rice.
Yeah, especially as far as texture goes.
Yeah.
A nicer quality rice. Yeah.
Oh. But then when I said brown rice, you guys said like, oh, like it doesn't matter. How come?
Because it doesn't go through the same process as white rice.
It's a different grain.
Oh, okay.
So like brown rice usually takes a lot longer to cook. The texture is a lot quote unquote tougher.
Yeah.
Like, chewier.
Yeah.
So it's like apples and oranges.
Oh,
One thing I've heard about brown rice is that if you cook it with half water, half milk, it's like a whole nother level.
Even though you could do that.
I don't know why, but someone like a client of mine who is really proficient in cooking, I think he worked professionally. He said, "Oh, bro, brown rice, because for fitness and bodybuilding, everyone's like brown rice with chicken and shit."
Yeah.
He said, "Cook it with half water, half milk."
Yeah.
And he says he changes the whole thing. So I'm curious.
Try that out.
Okay. Yeah, but here's the thing as well. Like, when you cook your rice, do you A, use a rice cooker? Do you B, measure it out and use the finger nub technique? Or do you C, fill a pot with water, have the water cooking, add your rice. When it's cooked, then you drain the rice in a pot?
Fuck, that last one? No. Hell no.
What's the last one?
Unless it's brown rice. Brown rice, maybe.
So like you have a pot of boiling water, then you add your rice. Like there's too much water because usually when people cook rice, they put water enough so that when it cooks, the water's evaporated and then it's done. But there's also the way where you have like a pot full of water and then you pour the rice in. Once it's cooked, then you pour out the water.
Oh, no, I just do the rice, I add some water and let it evaporate.
I think we're pissing off a lot of Asian and East Asian people.
Here's a fun fact. In a lot of big restaurants,
I know. That's why rice there is fucking garbage.
It's not. Again, it's as far as that goes, it's all about the timing. If you have the timing right and you take the rice out of the water and then you drain it, it will still have the same effect. Especially again,
I'm a rice snob, so I don't think so.
If you're cooking for like 100+ people, doing it the fucking finger knob way, that's not gonna work.
But doing it with a rice cooker way is even easier than doing it the pot way.
True. But a lot of times, in the restaurants that I've worked in, I think in all of them, I think only one of them actually had a rice cooker.
You know what the thing is with rice, and with those types of like simple base ingredients, like rice is fundamental, same as like grain is fundamental, and flour and like protein, right? So you're not getting the nitty gritty. When it comes to that, I usually default to the people who have been doing it the longest, and whose version of I enjoy the most. So whichever way the Asians are doing it, I'm up for that. And then they usually do the rice cooker way. I had a rice cooker. I bought it when I was broke. But I was like I got no money, but I still need a rice cooker because it's better. I used it and then lost the extension cord. So then I had it for years with nothing, and then we just fucking got rid of it.
Yeah. Wait, what's a finger knob technique? For
when you pour like a cup of rice, then you put your finger in it and then you filled it up until your finger nub. That's a legit technique that people use. It's like a legit technique that people use.
Never heard of that.
You measure the ratio with your finger.
As far as the actual science behind it, I don't know, but it's an actual thing that people do.
Oh,
and
wow.
They swear by it.
My rice is so simple and it never fucks up. It's always delicious. I don't get any burnt shit on the pan ever. It's just literally this. I wash my rice and then I don't overly drain it, so I just drain the largest amount. So still a little bit of water in there, but it's a 1-to-1 ratio for rice with water. Salt. Put it in a pan. Put it as low as possible. On the fire. Put a lid on it. Leave it for 15 minutes. When they come back, it's super fluffy. Nothing's burnt. It's all Gucci. It's delicious. Perfect rice.
Okay.
I use a rice cooker.
Yeah, that's always better.
I put 2 cups of rice, 4 cups of water, and then the machine says when it's done.
That's the best way to do it.
Okay.
So my little rice tip got way out of hand. They didn't mean to they didn't mean to offend half the fucking country and the fucking world with it.
Rice is universal.
I love rice.
Chris, territory.
You're an experienced cook. You're a professional cook. You're a veteran in the space. What's a tip you think people can really use? What's something people get wrong often or they do subpar?
There's a lot.
I know. That's what I said. One of them. Because I know your pet peeve list goes on and on, but we ain't got that much footage, dude. We ain't got that much tape.
One, try and balance. A lot of people don't really think about balance. Like a lot of times, in the sense that you have your 5 flavors and so on. So the most delicious things usually have a nice balance of everything.
Yeah.
So I would say that. So a lot of times, like
I do not think you could have been more vague about that fucking tip.
Jesus. No, I'm thinking he's going through it
So
now, right?
So we're walking a tightrope, right?
But
you gotta have your salt on this side and your sugar on this side.
But I was about to explain right now. You just jump the gun. You need to calm yourself.
Tell me.
So like for example, if you're making a tomato soup, tomatoes are generally very acidic. So a lot of times people add like a lot of salt, so we get, and then a lot of times in a soup you have a very high acidity and a sourness to it. Yeah. One way to have a nice balance and improve it is to add some salt, add some sugar.
Is your soup too salty,
bro? You sure yourself?
Is your soup salty? I got some salt for you, bro.
Let me see your license, fam. Let me see your license.
Sugar to it, and that would help balance out the acidity into it, and it gives you a nice, more rounded flavor.
Is that the same thing as adding a pinch of salt to your chocolate milk?
Exactly.
Hey,
exactly.
Ever done that?
No, what?
Do it, dude. Trust me.
Yeah.
I haven't had chocolate milk since I was like 12, I think. But
no, but like it's not like you take a spoon either. It's
Look
like
at you not living your best life.
I'm too gangster.
Literally
that,
just a pinch. Your thumb and your index finger, just a pinch.
Oh, that's a pinch. Oh, thanks for explaining that to me.
Some people don't know.
I was pinching my pinky.
Exactly.
Okay, and you add a pinch of salt to your chocolate milk.
Yeah, and just that, and then just a little stir, it'll change it.
Okay.
Especially if it's hot chocolate.
Okay.
There's some people that even add like a chili powder and stuff like that to it.
So you mentioned adding a little bit of sugar to like your tomato soup or sauce. What's other ways to get balance? Are you saying add sugar to everything salty?
No, but
add salt to everything sweet.
That's a very loaded question because it depends on what you're making, because everything is different. Like
give me some examples.
I wouldn't say put sugar on steak because then like
I don't know.
No.
So give me some more examples of that specific tomato one. What's other dishes or maybe something that's more applicable or more common? Should I add sugar to my rice? No. Okay,
no.
I wouldn't.
Like
unless you're making like what's it called?
But,
like rice pudding or rice
pudding?
like papa de arroz.
Yeah, rice pudding. I mean, you could put sugar in it, but then you have like a whole another dish. You wouldn't eat rice pudding with a steak either.
What's it? What?
Arroz con leche?
Oh yeah, true. True. Peasant food.
That's just like mango sticky rice in Thailand. It's rice, but it's sweet. So again, it depends on what you want to do. It's my tip would be to put a little bit more thought into the flavor that you want. Don't think of like, oh, this is a savory meal, so I only put salt in it.
Okay.
Think a bit more rounded.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned the 5 tastes. Salt is the easiest one people can go to, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're saying don't just think about salt. Think about the other ones as well. So we got sweet, we got sour, we got bitter, and we got umami. In what situation would you use bitter?
Not to be confused with unagi.
No.
Cool. Just let people know.
I'm sorry, guys.
Salmon skin roll.
Bitter you would use in like a dessert because again it would help lift up the sweetness as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Because like for another example, when you're eating something very fat heavy, use a little lime.
Okay.
So like if you're eating like even a very fatty rib, for example, put a little lime on it. The acidity and the sourness in the lime will make the meat more, for lack of a better way of saying, fresh.
Ooh.
It makes it like, it gives it a zing. It lifts up the whole meal.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. All right.
Like that. Those are the things, but these are things that a lot of people wouldn't know, especially if they haven't done the study for it or something like that. Yeah. But like, try and think of balance because then you'll enjoy the food a lot more as well.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay.
Bring it back to maybe some more basic tips.
Yeah.
Because Chris is an experienced cook and he understands the nuance.
Yeah, and
of flavor. So I think a really easy tip I can give for everyone who eats meat, is that take your proteins out of the fridge on time before you start cooking. Yes, you can go straight from fridge to pan, but you're going to get a lot more flavor, a lot more texture, a much better eating experience if you take it out on time, because technically you should be taking it out on time because you got to marinate your meat anyway.
True. But what's on time though? Give me a time frame.
So I would say and half an hour to an hour before you're gonna cook, depending on how hot it is. Like the hotter it is in the season here in Holland, for example, the less time. If it's cold and your room temperature in your house is not that warm either, it's not gonna change temperatures that fast anyway. Okay. But you do want to marinate your meat.
Yeah.
So let's say even if you already marinated your chicken and you put it back into the fridge, take it out like half an hour before you're going to cook.
Okay.
You're going to be able to cook faster. It's going to cook evenly a lot faster as well.
Yeah.
You're going to prevent yourself from burning the outside while the inside is still cold. That's especially true, in my opinion, with steak.
Yeah.
There's very little occasions, unless it's a very specific cut of meat, where I would go straight out of the fridge into the fire. Bring up the room temperature, let it come up a little bit. Because, again, you got to marinate it anyway. You should be... People, season your fucking meat. You should be seasoning
your food in general.
Season your food
with kunuku preferably.
There is no reason to have a bland meal.
And salt and pepper, those by themselves, is only seasoning when it comes to steak. Everything else, add flavor.
Exactly.
Enjoy life. Add some flavor. Add some goodness. Add a little bit of garlic. Add some fucking lemon, pepper. Do something.
Go for your dry herbs. Do some thyme. Do some rosemary. Do some oregano. Hey,
we all have a finite amount of meals in our lives.
True.
At some point, they come knocking at the door and it's going to be your time. You want to be able to lay your head to rest, having eaten enough beautiful meals, enjoying food throughout your whole life. So take your proteins out of the fridge on time, let it come to room temperature, marinate it.
Yes.
And you're going to be able to cook better. It's going to be a lot more enjoyable meal.
It actually even cuts the cooking time a lot.
Exactly.
Because again, the whole reason for cooking is to get that protein to a certain temperature, and if it's right out of the fridge, it's colder than it needs to be, and it's going to take longer, and then you're going to run the risk of the core of that protein to still be
raw.
Undercooked.
More undercooked than the outside.
Yeah. Okay.
Graham,
my turn.
You are, some call you the Gordon Ramsay of your time.
Some? I think all.
The people who are really, really drunk do that.
Okay.
But what cooking tips would you give people?
This is my number one cooking tip. I can't stress this enough.
I'm going to say don't eat vegetables.
Oh, no, that's a good one, though.
Oh, okay.
No, I was going to say that one. That's a good one. Also, don't eat veggies. They're bad for you. No, I'm kidding. But my number one thing is just clean as you go. Like when you're cooking, just if you're like marinating something and then you throw it in the pan, while you throw it in the pan, just wash off the little bowl you're marinating and then just keep doing that. It makes it so much easier and you save so much time. And you don't have everything piled up in a sink.
That's a really good tip.
Yeah.
And something I should learn to do.
Yeah.
Yep.
I luckily I'm
so
spoiled
good.
because usually when I cook, Fleur's my sous chef, and she's a Monica, so she cleans everything. But
it helps when you have a second pair of hands.
Yeah, but that's a really good tip. And the purpose of that would be
to just make it easier on yourself, just save time and make it easier on yourself. And everybody, I mean, most people like cooking, but they hate washing dishes and stuff, right?
Absolutely.
So this makes it a bit of a more, not fun, but a easier process because you just, while you're cooking, you'll clean this real quick and then you go back to cooking and then you clean this and then you keep yourself busy.
And that as well, it helps you prevent cross-contamination, which is a thing that happens. Like, you don't want to cut a piece of chicken on a board, put it on a plate, and then cut vegetables on the same board and then not cook the vegetables and have salmonella.
Something I haven't even thought about.
You're not supposed to do that?
Are you supposed to wash a chicken in the sink?
No, do not fucking do that. Do not do that.
I mean,
but I think that's a good tip because it might also what you said because people like cooking is they hate the cleanup part, but it also might make the cooking more fun. You have more space. You can take your time a little bit more with like the food and maybe do stuff a little more precise. Because if you have just one big like cutting block, and then you're trying to cut everything on that, and at some point you're like, I'm not gonna chop the garlic because my thing is already full.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, it really changes the way you cook home because it's just really convenient. It's really convenient.
But right now you live in a shared complex, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys have a dishwasher?
No, you just wash everything
by hand. Okay, yeah. Me as well. So especially for us that don't have that luxury. Clean as you go. It saves you time, and once you're finished eating, the only thing you have to clean is your plate.
Yeah, for us non-bougie people, who don't have dishwashers.
Yeah. Some of these people
non-bougie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another thing I saw is
I know damn right if you motherfuckers have dishwashers, you would use it.
Oh,
never.
Hell, fucking yeah.
Back to my roots. No, I'll definitely use it. I'll definitely use it.
You probably throw your fucking laundry in the dishwasher, dude.
If I could, sure. Tide Pods. Let's go.
Would you guys ever eat like a dish made out of a
Tide Pod?
No, not out of Tide Pod, out of a dishwasher. That's a thing. At a certain point, it was a trend on
There
it.
is
No.
reason whatsoever to ever do that.
I agree, but
So the answer is no.
There was a period of time.
Let me answer for the whole planet. No.
There was
Let me answer for the aliens out there as well. And people in Dimension 25?
Nah.
You're saying no.
No, and I agree, but there was a time on
Zerp, that's
YouTube.
no an alien.
These people just are like, hey, so can you cook a salmon in your dishwasher? Let's find out.
What's that quote from Jurassic Park? You spend so much time wondering if you could, you didn't stop to wonder if you should.
Shoulda, coulda.
No, and that is one point where you're like, nah, shouldn't. There's absolutely no need. There are so many other beautiful ways of preparing salmon. You ain't gotta use the fucking dishwasher.
Yeah.
Leave it for the dishes.
No.
I need some help with something because I have a feeling I'm doing this wrong. Maybe the rest of you guys are also doing it wrong. I don't know. What's the proper way to hold a knife? Because I just hold it by the handle. Like, but
As opposed to the blade?
no, you dumbass. I'm assuming there's
You're the one who's asking me to
no,
do it.
but I'm assuming there's a different way where you're supposed to hold it. Like maybe you put your fingers on a different spot or something.
What they teach us in culinary school and stuff like that, and in the kitchen if you work there without the culinary school, the way they teach you to hold a chef's knife or the main knife that you're going to cut is to use a pinch. So basically, between your index finger and thumb, you all knives are balanced. So you have the handle that you hold on and the actual blade.
Yeah.
Usually where the blade and the handle come together, that's the middle point, and that's where you want to hold because that's where it has more balance. And you can maneuver it a lot better.
Okay.
So like one thing I see a lot of people do is when they hold it, they actually hold it and their index finger is actually pointing on top. So
exactly.
So they're basically doing something like this.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Which I get, but if you hold it like this, then with a pinch like this, you have a lot more firmer grip on it, and you can maneuver a lot better.
It's just literally the same reason why drummers hold the drumsticks they do.
Yeah. Okay.
Because then the pinch creates the tension so that it creates the control, the precision, and the rest of the handle filling up your loose fingers, that can work with like for tempo. So then if you want to move fast, you're going to have like a slightly looser like fingers. The pinch is still there, but the fingers are going to be loose. So you can move, you can kind of use the weight and the movement of the knife to get momentum. And when you want to be more precise, you're going to squeeze the handle firmly with all the fingers so you can be a little bit more precise on things. So
okay, makes sense.
Here's to add to that. Here's a tip. People, please sharpen your knives. Use sharp knives. It'll make your life a whole lot easier. It'll make your cooking a lot quicker.
You say that as though sharpening a knife is fucking easy.
Yeah, as if everyone has that tool.
Exactly.
I was like, I'm go sharpen a knife real quick.
I'm gonna put on my gi and go into my samurai blacksmith shop.
That's true, but I mean, especially if you have your home set and whatnot, there are services where you can, not, and it's not even that expensive.
So that's the tip. Take your knives to a sharpening place.
Yeah.
The people do it.
Or there are some people that do it as like some people have that one friend who's like really into cooking and he sharpens knife. Ask them to do it for you.
People though. Very few people have that one friend that's into.
I'm that friend for you.
Sharpening knives.
I didn't know you sharpen knives, but okay.
Yeah. That being said, we're gonna do a knife sharpening marathon for Chris.
Yes.
Everyone bring their knives to Chris and make him eat his words.
Oh,
No, but I'm fucking with you because that's a really good tip because whenever I get a new knife and I start cooking with it, it's a world of difference. And then as soon as the knives get dull, then I like when I make a sandwich, I want my tomatoes thinly sliced.
Yeah.
I like a lot of thinly sliced tomatoes instead of like big chunks.
Yeah.
So then I always want to get like nice little thin, and then even the nice knife you got me now is a little bit dull. And then if it doesn't sink through it on the first try, I'm like, I'm not eating tomatoes today. Fucking throw everything out.
That's the thing. Again, it's a nice thing to have. It's a nice thing to use. Use sharp knives.
Sharp knives.
Sharp knives.
Sharp knives.
Knife sharp.
Or really dull spoons.
I've worked in some kitchens with some knives that were basically spoons, man.
Can you just use your teeth? Just like rip it off?
I was tempted.
Oh, okay.
I was tempted. I was like, okay, fuck this knife. I'm gonna try and pull it apart with
what about the dishwasher? Can the dishwasher cut it for you?
I'll
Chris,
try that out next time.
That's a good question. Really sharp, good knives. Dishwasher, or no dishwasher?
No dishwasher.
See, there you go.
Do not put it in the dishwasher. That's the number one thing you learn when you go into a kitchen, and especially a lot of times cooks bring their own knives. If you bring your own knives, you never put in the dishwasher. It's because the pressure and the heat of the water in the dishwasher, it damages and dulls your blade.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
You heard it here before,
wash
guys.
It by hand.
Glad I don't have a dishwasher.
Remember, breaking news: do not put knives in dishwasher.
You want your knife to stay sharp and stay safe.
What about pans?
It depends on the pan.
Okay, it depends on the pan. You got to read the label.
Like a cast iron pan. The general rule of thumb already is to not wash it with soap because you want to season it and want it, because at a certain point the cast iron pan becomes non-stick itself. So basically, the way you wash it is just with like some hot water and like a rag and whatnot, and that's it. Because if you use like soap, you'll take away the oils that are protecting it, and then you run the risk of it rusting.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it depends on the pan.
So those are actually some pretty useful tips.
Yeah.
Not only like specific things to do with food, but also how to go about cooking.
Yeah.
Different Graham, how to handle your cooking equipment. All great tips.
Yes.
I hope you guys found it informative. I hope you found it entertaining as well. Apply these tips to your cooking lifestyle. See if it helps. If you have any questions about cooking tips, always let us know. For whatever me and Graham don't know, we can always shoot it back to Chris.
Yes.
Remember, enjoy every meal.
Every bite.
The better you eat, the better you live. Hope you guys enjoy the show. Join us for next time. And this has been the show.
Yes, sir.
Talkin Spice.
Stay safe.
Pasa buen
Stay
día.
dangerous.
Dewey.